Belal, right here. Right here.
Yo, what's up, brother?
First of all, congratulations on the victory. At the press conference, you said you would put him to sleep and you'd finish them. So is this exactly how you saw this fight playing out?
Yeah, I mean, that was my plan coming in there. He said I wouldn't put him to sleep, but night.
In terms of the build-up to this fight and how it ended and all the back and forth you had and during this week, is this one of the more satisfying victories of your career?
Yeah, more so, not even because of him. It was just more so the public, the people. I felt like I was getting disrespected, and it just put a bigger chip on my shoulder. You know, I'm the only guy in this division fighting top 10 guys, and I'm not shying away from any challenge, anybody. So when they offered me this fight, they kept putting it on the table, and then I was the underdog in this fight, and it just made me mad, and it just made me know that I had to go out there in front of this fans, in front of this crowd on the biggest card of the year, and put on a performance that people are going to remember.
Did you feel like you were trying to be used as a step stool for Sean in his career?
No. I mean, I just think that I never look at myself like that anyway. I just always say that you're going to find out. If you think that is sweet, you're going to find out. It's not that easy. And I think that he learned it that way. He learned it the hard way. A lot of these guys underestimate me when they get in there with me. Then they realize what it is. So I think it was more so that they're just not pushing me to that level where they're thinking that I'm a Mokaev or a Kobe or something like that. And I just needed that performance that was going to put me at that level. I think this performance put me up there now with those top guys.
In terms of how the actual fight played out, Sean had some success with that counter jab, but every time he threw, you would respond with two, and you wouldn't let him follow up. Was that the game plan going in, or was that just an adjustment you made on the fly?
Yeah, no, it was a game plan. We knew that he has a pretty good hook, left hand, so we were like, we have to stay in his face the whole time. We want to drown him. We want to break him. He's usually good in the first round, and we were like, we'll let him get off a little bit, but we're going to stay in his face for 15 minutes. We're going to make sure that he's not going to take a lead. He's not going to get his foot on the gas and back people down. That's what a lot of people do. They back down and they let him take the lead, and they start breaking, and I was like, there's no way I'm going to break. I saw it in his face. He started bleeding. He started looking to his coaches. He started backing up a lot more. His coaches were yelling at him, stop backing up. And I was like, yep, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. And I knew it was a matter of time before he was going to break.
It was one thing to be training with Khabib and his team throughout this whole fight camp, but what was it like to finally actually have him in your corner during a fight?
It was amazing. It was like a different type of energy. He saw a lot of things, and he clicked well with my other coaches. It wasn't like he felt like he was the one in charge now. He was like, yo, coach, what do you have to say? What does this have to say? And then he was just pushing to me the whole time. We have to finish him. We have to finish him. We have to finish him. These are your people. This is your crowd. They're here for you. You have to go out there and put on a performance for the ages. And I did it. And even in that second round, he kept screaming to me, he's breaking, he's breaking, he's breaking, he's breaking, he's breaking. And, you know, you want to have those people around you in your corner because they see different things that you see inside. And for a guy like him who sees everything, and he was seeing it, my other coaches were seeing it, we made adjustments where we're like, all right, go up the middle now instead of wide with my punches. And those uppercuts were landing a lot more, uppercut to over the hand, and that's what caught him.
And you obviously called out Hamzat at the end, the big bad wolf. Is it that or the title shot next? Are those the two fights you want moving forward? Yeah,
I think those are the only two that make sense. I feel like, what else do you need from me? Like I said, this is the fourth top 10 guy I'm fighting. Me and Leon have unfinished business. That fight ended because of him. I took it on short notice. Obviously, Usman, I do feel, deserves a rematch, but if he's going to take some time off to let his brain heal, let him do that and let me and Leon fight. Other than that, I want to be on that card, and I want to be fighting the next best guy.
Well, I was going to ask you that. Dana kind of alluded that they might want to do Hamzat and Colby on the same London card. If Colby's not ready, would you want to fight Hamzat in London?
I do not think Colby's going to be fighting. Like, Colby's out here and hiding. He's doing his own little thing. He's definitely not fighting Hamzat. The people talk about him like he's the next big thing, but who has he beaten that's won? Like, he's beating Masvidal on a 3-fight losing streak. He's beating Woodley on a 5-fight losing streak. Everybody he's fought and won, they're all coming off losing streaks. The only fight he had a good fight against was Usman, and then he ended up getting finished in that fight. Other than that, everybody else has been losses. He hasn't been fighting these top guys. I just beat Luque, that was on a 7-fight winning streak, and I just beat this guy who's on a 15-fight winning streak. I'm the only one fighting guys that are on winning streaks.
And finally, last one for me. Did you talk to Paul Felder about the Philadelphia stuff? Seemed a little hurt on the broadcast.
Man, I love Paulie Paul. He's the only good thing that comes out of Philly. And, you know, Philly cheesesteaks, I've been getting a lot of flack for that, but I'll give it to you. Philly cheesesteaks are all right. The Eagles still suck.
Well, what did you make of the finish? Do you wish you kind of maybe got to hit him some more and put him out clean, or do you feel like the referee did a good job protecting him there?
Bro, I mean, I was sitting there bouncing his head off the cage for like 40 seconds. I was like, when is this ref going to do something? Because he wasn't bouncing anything back, but I was like, bro, I got to just keep my foot on the gas and keep hitting him. And like I said, those little things that he was saying, like at the press conference, you didn't finish nobody, you ain't going to put me to sleep, blah, blah, blah. Be careful what you wish for. He was doing all that talking, all that calling out, and like, I don't blame him. Obviously, you want to fight upward, and you want to fight the next guys, but I felt like he thought that I was going to be an easy fight. And guys who think that I'm going to be easy, they learn the hard way.
Why do you think people have this interpretation of you or kind of look at you this way?
I mean, because I don't do a lot of trash talking. I don't even curse. So I just think that they look at me like I don't have a big posture. I'm not like, a crazy athlete. I'm just a guy that works hard, pushes myself. I'm just a normal person. And I'm a normal person that pushes himself to a brink, and I don't have a normal work ethic, and I don't have a normal mentality. So people don't see that stuff. But like when you see like a Hamzat who's 6'4" and huge, long reach, this, and this, you look at this guy, oh man, this guy's a specimen, this guy's this guy's that. But you look at me and you're like, dang, how is this guy number 5 in the world? How is this guy beating these guys? You just feel it.
When this run you've been on has been very nice, but the only two kind of blemishes, I guess, are the Neil fight and then, the no contest with Leon. Do you feel like both of those are ones you're going to get back in time eventually? Yeah, for sure. I definitely do think I need the Leon fight back. I've been wanting that fight, been calling for that fight. Even with that fight, it was like people were saying that you didn't. I took that fight on like a week notice, and it was a main event. So people don't understand that coming off of a fight with Lima and then running into that camp with him, and it's like you're going from a righty to a southpaw. There's no training for that camp. So like, give me a full camp to fight this guy, and it's a different story. And that fight was only 1 round. So for Leon to always say that, well, the rest of the fight was going to go that way. Look at his fight that he just had with Usman. He was losing 4 rounds, and then he ended up winning in the 5th round. So that's the fight game. So when people come up with that narrative, like, oh, you're going to lose anyway, that's just stupid. And little things like that, that's what pisses me off and makes me angry. And last thing for me, Hamzat was in the crowd. Did you get to see him at all? Yeah, I saw him. He was eating like Snickers and Kit Kats. I'm like looking at him like, bro, when are you going to start being on a diet again? I actually didn't see him in the crowd, but I would like to see him in the cage. What's your message to him? He watches all the stuff. He's always, liking the Instagram posts and things. What would be your message to him? Brother, what happened to Nate Diaz in August is Bully B in October. I'll fight you at 179.8. Like, I don't care about weight. For me, I want to fight the best guys in the world, and I think I'm the best guy in the world. So step into my office. Let's go.
Belal, just over here. Firstly, congratulations.
My stand-up's still pretty good, huh?
Oh, come on, Belal. You know what I mean? In the UK, when we say pretty good, it means like very good. I don't know in America what they mean by that.
In America, that's disrespect. But whatever, you're good. You're all right. I like you.
If you did feel a way about that, then I apologize, but that's just a culture thing. And I was actually going to say that. I was going to say, you alluded to that a little bit, and there was a lot of people on social media who took that out of context and decided to have a laugh at you because, that's what we've spoken about before. People just like to do that. How does it feel to have the last laugh?
I mean, it's not really the last laugh. Like, I don't care what people say about me. They can say whatever they want about me. My team and myself, we know what we do. We know the work that we put in the practice room, in the cage, and I know what I'm capable of. So, like, when I do get those trolls and I get all those people, that energy, it does nothing but fuel me. I'm not a guy that reads comments and cries or anything like that. I'm a guy that reads those comments, and I'm like, I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to show you guys. And for me, it's just like, I'm going to keep proving everybody wrong. Nobody thinks I'm going to be a champion. Nobody thinks I'm going to beat this guy or that guy or this guy. And I just keep going out there and I keep winning.
I also wanted to just say, this is like your 6th fight in around 20 or so months. Do you feel like your activity in a division where ranked guys just aren't that active is one of the keys to your winning streak and your success at the moment?
Yeah, I think that's a thing for me. I'm a guy that wants to stay active. All these guys have excuses. Everybody's waiting for that right fight. No, that fight doesn't make sense for me. So, oh, my toe's broken, or I can't fight right now. I got to go on vacation. It's hunting season. All these excuses for everybody whenever that you call them out or you ask for that fight. I'm a guy that's going to say yes. The UFC knows that. Sean Shelby knows that. So that's why they always give me these fights. And I do think that's one of the keys for me to be so successful is I like to stay in the cage. When I'm in that cage, it's my world, and I want to stay in that world.
And just finally from me, That was such an amazing crowd in there tonight. I know you said in your post-fight that it was Khabib who was kind of pushing you and pressuring you to get the finish. But was the crowd also playing a part? Because they were very loud when you were in those final seconds of that fight.
Man, that crowd, that energy was amazing. It's one of those things that it's going to live in my memory forever. I love Abu Dhabi. I need to fight in Abu Dhabi every chance I get because the last 2 times I was here, I got to finish. So let's keep it going.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Good, thank you, guys.
On right here. First of all, congratulations on your victory, a very hard-fought win, a very close fight. So now that the dust is settled, what are your emotions now after continuing this win streak?
Félicitations pour ta victoire. C'était une victoire, mais avec un résultat assez serré. Qu'est-ce que tu penses de ce combat?
Ouais, c'est vrai que c'était un combat assez serré parce que j'ai voulu la boxer absolument, la battre en striking, alors que j'ai vu que c'était beaucoup plus facile en lutte, alors j'aurais pu me faciliter le combat en l'emmenant au sol de suite, mais voilà, c'est une victoire contre la numéro 1, donc c'est l'essentiel.
Yeah, it's close. I really want to show I can, as the best striker of the division, I want to keep this fight on stand-up. But after the third one, I tried to wrestle. It was easy for me, so this is not the result I expect, but I win.
A lot of people had the fight a tie going into the third round, 1-1. Were you confident that you had done enough when the fight was over?
Il y a la plupart des experts qui notaient un round partout à la fin du deuxième. Est-ce que tu étais serein à la fin du combat au niveau du résultat?
Oui, à la fin du combat, je savais que j'allais gagner, mais c'est vrai que je savais que le premier était serré, mais voilà, dans le premier, j'ai un peu observé et après, je savais ce qu'il fallait faire pour gagner le 2 et le 3.
Yeah, I have to take a look on the fight over, but the first it's tight, but I don't think he win. But after the first, I know I can win this fight easy.
Then you said you wanted to prove that you were the best striker in the division. A lot of Katlyn's previous opponents have had difficulty with her length and her pressure. So when you were in there, how did her striking maybe compare to what you saw on tapes?
Il y a beaucoup de critiques qui disaient que tu avais du mal quand on te mettait la pression. Tu as montré ton stand-up. Qu'est-ce que tu as pensé de sa prestation à elle?
Elle a fait un combat intelligent comme d'habitude. Elle désengageait beaucoup, donc c'était compliqué de la toucher et faire ce que je voulais faire, donc finir le combat. Et voilà, après elle a fait son jeu comme d'habitude, mais je m'y attendais.
Yeah, like I expect, she have a good fight IQ. She move and disengage a lot. She's very difficult to strike, but it's what I expect from her when I think about the fight.
And then finally, a lot of people, it's either you or Alexa Grasso are the two people that people talk about for the next title shot. Do you think you're ready? Do you think you've done enough to maybe put yourself ahead of Alexa in this title picture?
Il y a beaucoup de gens qui pensent que c'est toi ou Alexa la prochaine qui va faire le title shot. Qu'est-ce que tu penses de ça? Qu'est-ce que tu as à dire là-dessus?
Moi, ce que j'aimerais, c'est affronter Alexa Grasso parce que j'ai envie de prendre encore un peu d'expérience et de faire encore un combat contre Valentina pour un ceinture.
Yeah, Alexa talked about the winner of the fight, Katlyn, against me. So I want to fight Alexa and after think about Valentina.
Manon, super combat, bravo déjà. Là, tu viens de gagner et il me semble que le game plan, c'était même pas exactement celui-là, que tu voulais mettre la pression. Là, tu viens de battre la numéro 1 mondiale malgré tout. Mais qu'est-ce que tu penses qui t'a manqué pour engager encore plus et pour lui mettre la pression et mettre du volume comme tu aurais voulu?
En fait, c'était compliqué parce que c'est vrai que son style est vraiment compliqué. Elle désengage beaucoup. Je m'y attendais, mais en vrai, c'était plus dur que ce que je pensais. Après, là où j'ai fait une erreur, en fait, c'est que je me suis obstinée dans ce game plan alors que j'aurais dû la lutter dès le deuxième parce que c'était beaucoup plus facile pour moi et j'aurais peut-être même pu la finir au sol. Donc voilà, du coup, je pense que j'ai manqué un peu d'expérience et voilà, j'ai voulu m'entêter dans mon truc.
Et du coup, avec le combat que tu voudrais supplémentaire avant Shevchenko, donc possiblement contre Grasso, celui-là, est-ce que tu essaierais de l'approcher différemment pour justement mettre en place tout ce que tu veux mettre en place cette fois-ci?
Ouais, c'est ça. Là, je vais pas rester sur un game plan. Justement, avec Alexa Grasso, c'est un bon test pour voir ma lutte, mon sol et tout. Donc voilà, ouais, j'ai envie de faire encore un combat pour mettre en place tout ça.
Et dernière question, ça fait quoi de battre le numéro 1 mondial là?
C'est bien quand même. C'est vrai que je suis déçue parce que je l'ai pas fini, mais c'est vrai que dans ma tête, je me dis j'ai quand même battu la numéro 1 mondiale, donc c'est pas mal.
Merci Manon.
Merci.
Manon, you said to me a few days ago that TJ Dillashaw and Hamzat Chimaev are your favorite fighters. I heard that Hamzat is in the crowd today. How did it feel to fight in front of him?
Tu as dit précédemment dans l'ancienne conférence de presse que tes fighters préférés c'était TJ et Khamzat. Khamzat était en tribune ce soir. Ça te fait quoi d'avoir combattu devant lui?
C'est cool, hein, c'est cool. Après, j'aurais aimé faire mieux devant lui, mais voilà, j'ai gagné, donc c'est l'essentiel.
That's cool. I really want to do more tonight, but I win and it is what it is.
And you also said that Dubai or Abu Dhabi was one of your favorite places. So how did it feel to fight in front of that crowd today?
Abu Dhabi, tu as dit que c'était l'endroit favori où tu voulais combattre. Est-ce que tu es contente d'avoir combattu ce soir?
Oui, je suis super contente d'avoir combattu ici. Et il y avait ma mère en plus en tribune, donc c'était une très bonne soirée quand même.
Yeah, so happy it was an awesome night. My mother was in the public, so yeah, I'm proud and happy.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Stop chasing him. When I stopped chasing him, I noticed I can find him better. So it was a little bit tricky, man, because his distant management to the takedown was so good. And he kept shooting and kept shooting. I'm like, that was tricky. And I'm like, maybe I should take him down. I'm like, nah, he keeps rolling, and I keep rolling on him. So let's just skip that part and work the striking.
You were finding a lot of success with your counter strikes, specifically your knees. Was that part of the game plan, or did you just find that in the moment?
It was definitely part of the game plan. I spent a lot of time doing knees and uppercuts. Never really found the uppercut, but I found the knees. And the knees, I also wanted him to like back up so I can set up my kicks. He was just good, man. He's really good. I was really impressed, man. And he's only had like 5-6 fights in the UFC, man. Imagine that guy with 10 fights.
And you alluded to something, I think it was called the funk in there. What exactly did you mean by that?
You know those weird rolls where it looks like he's about to take my back? That's like a hybrid of jiu-jitsu and MMA or wrestling. Wrestling, you can't do that in freestyle because it's you lose points. In folk style, you could do it, and then in jiu-jitsu, like it's gold. You know, I could be better with the finishing with the leg locks. I was definitely struggling a little bit, but I think, you know, that's funk.
And then I asked this to Belal, and I'll ask you the same thing. And his answer was, given the fact that he was a top 5 ranked guy fighting down against a guy that no one really wanted to fight, the rest of the top 5 wasn't really fighting. He said, given all that, this was one of the more satisfying wins of his career. So was this one of the more satisfying wins of your career?
Man, he might be the best guy I fought. Let's be honest. That might be the best guy I fought. No disrespect to Tony or Diego or the guys before that. But, like, he had a good gas tank. He pushed hard. He shot a lot. He got me down. I don't remember the last time I was taken down in a fight. Yeah, it was a very satisfying victory.
How do you think the flight home is going to be with the little one over there?
What? Wait, say that again?
How do you think the flight home is going to be with the little one over there?
The flight home?
The flight home.
So here she was amazing. So I'm assuming she's going to be like double worse or twice as bad. Well, I don't know why I'm forgetting English. I think she's going to be twice as bad just to pay me back Because, you know, the last 2 days, I haven't really spent time with her. And she looks at me weird, because like, hey, why aren't you picking me up? Hey, why aren't you, like, spending time with me? Like, I'm stuck with mom all day. What's up with that? So I think she's going to be, it's going to be rough, just for the next 2 days, but I'll make it up to her.
At the pre-fight press conference, Khabib took a photo from the crowd of Islam and Gamrot and said, you know, these two are going to be fighting one day, like as if it was going to be for the title. Do you feel like slighted by that kind of stuff? Do you feel like that's kind of the story of your career, that people aren't, you know, giving you the proper due?
I didn't know about that, and honestly, maybe he's right. Maybe they will. Young guys, you know, I'm 50. I'm just kidding. Maybe he's right, but here's the thing. I'm not going anywhere. I will beat down whoever I need to beat down, and they could circle that belt around me all they want. They could try to avoid me all they want, but my day will come, and what God has planned, no one will stop.
And I know you said you're not a beggar and you won't do that, but where is the line between begging and asking for what you feel you deserve?
Listen, if that didn't do it, what else can I do? If that performance, beating a guy like Gamrot, who some say he's undefeated, and you know he was undefeated coming into this fight. Like beating a guy like that, obviously I didn't finish him. He's a lot tougher than I thought. I got kind of close in the last round, but if that's not the proper way to ask, I need somebody to tell me how I should be asking, how I'm doing this wrong. Because if we're talking about merit, I don't think there's anybody else. Yes,
Beneil, congratulations about big victory. You used many leg kicks than usual. Is that something from Giga Chikadze? Do you guys train together?
So Giga taught me to leg kick a long time ago. And then he stopped leg kicking. And then I was doing it a lot, and then he started again. But yeah, this goes way back. It's not like a new thing. But Giga taught me to leg kick a long time ago. And I got to use it a little bit today. You know, I got kind of scared to throw more kicks because he was getting the takedowns off of it. So it was a little bit tricky.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, boys. God bless.
consecutive sellout since the pandemic. Fight of the night, no-brainer, Jan versus O'Malley. Performance of the night went to Belal and Islam. They all won $50,000. Congratulations. Who's got the first question?
I'm standing down the front right here.
Why is there always helicopters every time I'm doing press conferences?
Pretty wild finish to the main event. Islam Makhachev obviously finished the way, Charles Oliveira, the way that he wanted on the ground. What are your initial impressions after witnessing what we saw in that main event?
I literally didn't hear one word you said.
Just thoughts on the main event.
What did I think of the main event?
Yeah, the finish.
Incredible. I mean, I've been saying all week, you got two of the absolute best in the world in their prime facing off, and you know, when I went up into the octagon after, Habib said, I told you he's the best in the world. And yeah, I mean, to beat Oliveira is one thing, to beat him the way he beat him is another, and as fast as he did it, he looked incredible tonight. You know, the big question going in tonight was how was he going to deal with the pressure? He dealt with it just fine.
And given the way that Charles has looked so dominant lately and the way that Islam beat him pretty handedly, how far do you think he could take this reign?
How long do I think he could take this reign? I don't know. That remains to be seen. You know, obviously, looks like Volkanovski's next, so, you know, Volkanovski never ceases to amaze me. Another incredible fight.
Did you know he was going to call out Volkanovski?
I did not, no.
So that...
When I was up there, Habib said to me, we're going to fight all the time and we want to fight everybody. That's what he said to me, you know, after the fight.
So is it safe to say that's going to be the main event for the Perth card?
Probably. I don't know. We'll see.
Where do you go with Charles from here? He seems like he wants to keep fighting. He wants to get that title back. How soon do you want to see him back? I assume you would want him on the Rio card as well.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. You know, obviously, you know, the guy's incredible. I mean, up until that fight just happened, you know, he was the best in the world in that weight class. So we'll see what's next.
And looking at the co-main event, were you aware that TJ Dillashaw had that shoulder injury leading up to the fight?
Yeah, I had no idea. That's a problem. Yeah.
How do you think the Athletic Commission could have missed that? Because he said it had been dislocating a lot throughout training camp.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how could the Athletic Commission know if he doesn't tell us? You know what I mean? You got to tell everybody. You got to tell us. I mean, he looked good. He was in great shape. It's not like he came in out of shape. He looked like he was injured or whatever. But yeah, that's something that he should have told us.
Then based off of what you had said earlier, was the plan still to have Sean fight Aljamain, considering Sean won and Aljamain won?
Does Sean fight Aljamain now? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, you know, I don't make fights, and the fight just happened. We'll see what's next.
And finally, what did you make of Belal Muhammad's performance? Another victory over a guy ranked below him.
Performance of the night. Yeah, he looked great. He looked incredible.
Dana, what do you think of...
This is insane.
They just do it to mess with you at this point, I think. What did you think of Sean O'Malley's performance? You know, some people think the judges got it wrong. I'm curious about your assessment of it. Did you think he won the fight, and what did you think of his performance? What did you think of Sean O'Malley's win?
Yeah, well, we discussed this going into this fight. Lots of people were like, you know, why are you giving him this fight? It's too soon. He shouldn't be taking this fight. Sean Shelby was right.
Did you think he won the fight? Some people are saying Petr Yan should have got the decision, but did you think O'Malley won? How did you score it?
It was one of those razor-thin, close fights. I could see people saying Yan won the fight. I could see people saying O'Malley won the fight. It's all. What's weird is it wasn't the way I thought it was with the judges' scorecards. I thought, depending on who you gave the first round to, determined who won the fight. But that was not the case, apparently.
There was an incident cage side with Khamzat Chimaev. I don't know if you've heard about that, and if you have, what can you tell us about it?
The guy, you know, boy, I mean, what do I even say about that? It happens, and especially with him. It happens. Any other questions?
Yeah. Do you know why Khamzat was, you know, at that proximity by the cage? Did he get...
Do I know why he what?
Yeah, how did he get that close to the cage, Khamzat? Like, did he go over the barrier, or?
No, he was sitting on our side.
Okay.
So I didn't even know Khamzat was coming tonight. He was invited here by Abu Dhabi. So the seats behind me are owned by Abu Dhabi here in Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I wanted to ask, you guys recently put out a statement to the fighters about they can't bet on their own fights and things
Right.
like that. Can you talk us through the process in coming to that conclusion?
Yeah, well, gambling is opening up everywhere in every state, and the people who regulate gambling don't think it's a good idea for fighters to be betting on themselves. And I agree.
Was it becoming a problem?
No, it just shouldn't happen. Should never happen. It doesn't look good. More optics than anything.
And wanted to ask you too, Dan Hardy, your former commentator, made a statement this week saying that the last time you guys were in Abu Dhabi for the Max Holloway-Calvin Kattar fight, that you had staged a video where you showed sympathy for Calvin Kattar, and it was all staged. Did you see that, and do you have a response to those comments?
I don't understand the question. He said that we did what?
He said it was basically staged. He said like you had a
What
mic
kind of sympathy for? What does that mean?
to make it seem like you were showing concern for Calvin Kattar's health when you really didn't have it.
In what way?
Like he said you had a mic pack on and the camera was on you and it was kind of all done to show like, you know, sympathy towards the fighters.
Well, I don't even know what that means, but I can tell you this: we've never staged anything, ever. And you know, we have a documentary that we filmed during COVID. That's why I was mic'd. I've never been mic'd. I was mic'd because of that. And then, are you talking about when I was talking about let's get him straight to the hospital?
Yes.
Do you know how many fights a week I say that to Hunter or Doc Davidson? No interviews, no nothing. That guy goes straight to the hospital. No whatever.
Yeah, no, I've heard you skip post-fight media and stuff like that. For
100%.
fighters.
I mean, you guys know how many times that's happened. I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. So you don't ever have to worry about me staging anything. And I definitely don't give a fuck what Dan Hardy thinks. You know, Dan Hardy's a guy that was mistreating a woman who worked here, and that's why he was fired. So obviously, he's bitter, and I'm assuming that's why he would say something like that. But yeah, I mean, why would I have to stage? And were you at the Calvin Kattar fight?
Yes.
Should I have been concerned about Calvin Kattar?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, everybody should have been concerned about Calvin Kattar that night.
I agree. Thank you.
Yeah.
Dana, just to your right.
Yeah.
So you mentioned yesterday that you're planning to do Colby versus Hamza in March. If for whatever reason one of those two can't fight, would you consider putting Belal up against one of those guys instead, considering his performance tonight?
I have no idea. I mean, right here, right now, I don't know. But, you know, I'm not thinking about what happens if somebody can't fight. We were just trying to make fights. Yeah, I have no idea.
And if Volkanovski does fight Islam in February, does that mean we might see an interim featherweight title fight? If Volkanovski fights Islam in February, is it likely that we might see an interim featherweight title fight?
If he, oh, no, that wouldn't happen.
That was it. Thank you.
Dana, to your right. The situation right now at bantamweight division becomes more and more interesting. So, from the point of view of Dana White, what's next for Aljamain Sterling?
He just fought 25 minutes ago. I have no idea.
So, what about the whole overall the bantamweight?
What do you want to see?
Just your opinion.
Huh?
Just your opinion. Just your opinion about the bantamweight division right now.
How about Henry Cejudo? That work? You like that?
Maybe. And
you don't give a shit? Why are you asking me if you don't even give a shit?
Because he's a champion right now, and
you couldn't think of any other questions. You just wanted to ask that one.
So
go ahead. What's your next question?
About your opinion about the bantamweight division right now, current situation. It becomes more and more interesting.
What do I think about what? I like it a lot. Thanks.
Dana, to your right. Dana?
Yeah.
To your right.
Yep. Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good. It's been an incredible event. Abu Dhabi has treated UFC
very well, and a lot of fighters, when this card was being made, called out and said that they want to be on this card because of the hospitality Abu Dhabi shows. Can there be any plan in future with respect to an international fight week of sorts happening in Abu Dhabi, where we can have a fight night and a pay-per-view card, so that multiple fighters can then be a part of it?
Yeah, we've actually talked about that a lot. Yeah, the answer is yes.
Thanks.
Yep.
Dana?
Yeah.
Good evening. Igor Lazarin from Citas.
Hi.
Thank you for the event. So, first question, maybe you know already about conflict between Abu Bakr Nurmagomedov and Khamzat Chimaev after main event, and what do you think about this behavior? Maybe UFC will make restrictions, sanctions to these fighters for this behavior.
What did he do?
They fought in.
It's what we do here. It's what we do. This is a rough business. Mean things are said. Sometimes guys get into it. It's our job here at the UFC to make sure that that stuff doesn't happen. Again, we weren't right on it and didn't stop it from happening, but we got in there. Just these things happen. When you get, we have 800 alpha male and females under contract, and sometimes they cross paths at events, and these things happen. It doesn't bother me or hurt my feelings or any of that stuff. We handle it and then we move on. Hey, you.
Oh, okay. You had mentioned Henry Cejudo. Did you have any conversations with him in regards to his return?
No, that guy was just in the top of my head. He asked me that question. I said, maybe Henry Cejudo would be fun. He didn't think so, but I don't know. Maybe other people do.
But have you spoken? Have you guys spoken to Henry recently?
Well, Henry's been out there talking, and he wants to come back, and he wants to, and I think. How long's he been back in the USADA pool? Anybody know how long he's been back in the USADA pool? No? 6 months? Yeah, so, he could fight. So maybe you do him and Aljamain Sterling next. Again, everybody's going to write that I said that that's the next fight. That's what's going to be written. But I'm just saying that would be a good fight for him.
I'm sure Henry Cejudo will be happy to hear that. Speaking of USADA, it appears on the database that Conor McGregor hasn't been tested this year. Would he have to complete 6 months before he can compete?
Yeah,
or how's that work?
yeah.
So he can't return until 6 months.
Right.
All right. Thank you.
I have a question.
Good. Yep.
Hey, Dana. Shadi Al-Shadi, ITP Media Group.
How are you?
I'm great. Great having you in Abu Dhabi. I'd like to ask you a gaming question regarding the UFC game. A lot of fans have been asking, are we going to have Arabic commentary for the next edition of the UFC game? So UFC 5, will it have Arabic commentary as well?
Yeah, that's a good question. That I don't know the answer to, sir, but I will look into that for sure.
And
it should.
Yes.
It should, yes.
And I would like to also request that you also add Etihad Arena as a venue so it's playable in the game as well.
I'll get it done. Thank you. Yep, go ahead, brother.
Hello, Daniel. My name is Vadim Tikhamirov, Match TV. What do you think about Islam Makhachev in pound-for-pound rankings? Now he's but...
No, that's a great question. Where is he now? I don't even know off the top of my head. What is he? What is Islam ranked now in the pound for pound?
He's no.
Oh, well, that's fucking interesting. There you go. Well, I think he's gonna pop up pretty high on Tuesday.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. We good? Thanks for coming, you guys. Have a good night.
Sean, in the front right here. I know in your post-fight interview you said you wanted to watch the fight, maybe like digest it as a whole. So it's been a minute since your fight ended. Have you had a chance to watch any of the highlights or any of the tape or footage or anything? And what did you make of the fight as a whole?
No, I haven't. I haven't got to watch it back yet. Been just bouncing around doing media. It's kind of a blur, to be honest. You know, he caught me with some good shots. Petr, tough dude, man. Tough Russian right there. So I'd like to really watch it back before I could, you know, dissect it.
Is that the type of fight you expected him to bring? A very wrestling-heavy approach?
I mean, I trained for it all. I'm training for an MMA fight. I didn't literally train, you know, I didn't just kickbox that entire camp. I trained for an MMA fight. You know, so I was prepared for a 15-minute war. I say that every single time I go into a fight. I'm prepared for a 15-minute war, and I expect them, you know, I plan on dropping them early, but I'm always prepared.
Then given that you have been prepared, I feel like you and Petr have been going back and forth for so long. This fight had seemed inevitable for the last few years. So when you were in there, did anything he bring to the table surprise you or just catch you off guard?
You know, he was as good as I thought he was. Like, if I had to guess how that fight was going to play out, I would have said it probably would play out like that. That dude's good. He's, you know, he was the #1 guy in the world. Pretty sure he was in the top 15 pound for pound rankings. The dude's a killer.
And Dana was here, and I asked him if you would be next for Aljamain Sterling, and he said he'd have to, you know, circle up with his team and figure something out. So if it was up to you, would you want that title shot next? Do you want something else in the meantime?
Yeah, it's so hard to, like Dana says, it's hard to make fights that night, right after, or the day of. I'm sore, I have a headache, I'm tired. I don't want to fight anyone. I want to go home and see my princess. You know, it's inevitable. I turned 28. What's today? The 23rd already? I turned 28 tomorrow.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I'm going to be in this sport for a long time. You know, the people want me to be champ, so it's going to happen sooner than later.
Were you able to watch the Aljamain TJ fight?
I didn't see it. I heard TJ's shoulder popped out a couple times. I wasn't able to watch it, though. I didn't. What round did he finish him? Second round. Choked him?
Well, ground and pound, but there was a lot of, like, his arm was pretty, it popped out in, like, the first exchange.
That's tough.
Apparently it had been popping out all throughout fight camp, and he had just kind of kept it hidden.
Yeah, that's part of going, this sport's crazy, man. It's the injuries. You guys don't even know, like, the injuries you go. I was healthy going into this camp, or into this fight, which is, you know, pretty rare for a lot of fighters. I was thankfully healthy, but yeah, most of the time people are going into these fights with injuries.
Sean, sometimes you talk about, you know, having to answer questions from the fans, and they've always got more questions about you. But do you feel that tonight you got to prove that A, you got a great chin because he cracked you with some shots, and B, that you got great grappling because you're able to get up for every time he took you down? Do you feel like you answered those doubts at least?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's still people out there, but I think I answered, you know, kick his legs was the first one. Now it was, well, you can't just kick his legs. We'll take him down. Petr kicked my legs, took me down, still won. So, I mean, yeah, I'm answering questions little by little.
You know, you often talk about wanting to put on a masterpiece and put on a great performance. Now, okay, maybe that wasn't a clinical win over him, but it was a back and forth, brilliant war that you got showed your ability. And are you satisfied with that performance, or would you rather have a clean one and a bit more slick?
I don't want to get hit ever. You know, it's not healthy. It's not good for you to get punched in the head. You know what I mean? It's not good for you to have headaches. So ideally, I go in there, not get hit, but I think it makes it even sweeter, the story. Like, you know, I got to really show my heart. I had to dig deep. I had to go somewhere mentally, physically that I've never been before, and yeah, that's what happens when you fight the best guys in the world.
You said about finding the best guys in the world. You said earlier this week that, you know, you wanted the opportunity to show people you're as good as you've been saying you are. Do you feel like you got to do that tonight?
Yeah, I remember tweeting, "Don't be surprised if I win this fight." You know, I was very confident. I had a great camp. You know, I had great training partners, great coaches, great team around me, and you know, it's true confidence, and it was. I definitely got to prove that.
Congrats and happy birthday.
Thank you. Boom. Peace. Oh, one more.
So, leading up to the fight, Dana White said this could be your McGregor-Aldo moment. You did win the fight, but do you think that was your Conor McGregor, Jose Aldo moment, or we still have to wait for that one?
I mean, what's considered a Conor Aldo moment? Do I got to knock someone out in 13 seconds? Because that's going to be hard to do. But as far as like blowing up, you know, I think, I don't know. We'll have to see the next couple weeks. I'm sure my brand deals and I would almost guarantee I'm gonna go sit down and renegotiate my contract after that. So, you know, we'll see. I think it could be.
Best of luck and happy birthday.
Thank you, guys. Yep.
Hi. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
I know you talk about really enjoying training jiu-jitsu and your grappling, and it's a part of your game that you don't really get to show off too much. With Aljamain, the champion, being so dominant with his grappling, does that kind of excite you or motivate you when you're thinking about a fight with him?
Yeah, I mean, what really gets me excited is guys like Petr who are just like, you know, I knew that was going to be a sweet kickboxing match with a little wrestling. Aljo's straight, you know, he's good everywhere, but he's mostly a grappler, so it's an interesting fight.
Sean, just to your right over here. I wanted to ask, throughout the whole last couple of weeks, I feel like you've really adopted to the culture here and everything like around you. You've really shown appreciation for it. Did you feel a bit disappointed when you heard like all the boos from the crowd today?
I didn't hear the boos. I think Brett told me, he asked me the same question. I'm like, oh, they were booing? I didn't hear it. I was just enjoying. I don't know. I didn't hear it. So I think, you know, the fans a little buzzed up, just doing what they're doing. I mean, I didn't feel anything. I didn't hear it.
And just last one from me. Apologies, my mind may have gone blank, and you might have come out to this before. But I felt like the song that you chose for your walkout today, Superstar by Lupe Fiasco, was that like a reminder for you as you're going into the cage that, yeah, if I am who I say I am, I need to perform?
Yeah, you know, that song, it's a good song, man. I think I did that song one other time when I fought Jose Quinones, when I had that 2-year layoff, and I'm a superstar, and you know, I feel like it, and it's a good song.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Sean, one more.
Yep.
When he hit you with that trip, I think it was in the second round, and then, did you try to do it to him right back at him?
Yeah, I like that trip. I've been hitting that in sparring too. I was like, I'm gonna get that motherfucker back, but he's like, it's hard because he's so short. He's got thick little legs and shit. So I was like, yeah, I tried getting him back, didn't work, but little fucker got me with it too, and I did not. I knew if we were both southpaw, he was gonna try to hit that, and he got me. Sweet. Thanks, guys.
Charles, obviously you've had a couple of minutes now since the fight. I'm curious, what are your thoughts about your performance, Islam's performance, and how it played out in there tonight?
Charles, alguns minutos após a derrota, só estou curioso para saber exatamente o que você está sentindo, o que aconteceu lá.
Cara, não tem muito o que falar, não tem muito o que fazer. Hoje ele foi melhor do que eu, acertou umas mãos melhor do que eu. Consegui fazer aquilo que ele faz de melhor, que é botar para baixo. Não tem o que falar. Hoje tem dias que é o dia bom, tem dias que é o dia ruim. Hoje, infelizmente, para mim foi um dia ruim.
You know, there's not much to say. He basically just got to do what he was today. He was better than I was. He was able to do things and when I wasn't, and he was able to actually, you know, get his game going, which was basically, you know, put me down and work that. And I mean, there's nothing much to say as much as that.
you know, a lot of talk was about his grappling leading into this fight, but was there anything in there that he did that surprised you? Was his striking surprising to you? Was his strength surprising to you? What was his? Were there any surprises?
Muito se falou, obviamente, do grappling dele, mas teve alguma coisa que te surpreendeu? A trocação dele te surpreendeu? A força dele te surpreendeu? Algo te surpreendeu que você não conhecia?
Cara, não é surpreender. Infelizmente, somos lutadores, é isso que acontece. Vai ter dias que a gente vai estar bem, vai ter dias que a gente está ruim. Hoje o Makhachev foi melhor do que eu. Não tem o que fazer. A gente vai se encontrar de novo.
You know, there's nothing. We're fighters. That's bound to happen. There are days that, I mean, today Islam Makhachev was better than I was, and there are days that you're gonna be better than other people. There are days that they're gonna be better than you. Nothing much to do, and we're going to meet again.
Certainly, over the last year, couple of years, you've been able to show how you can come back from adversity. Would you like to get back in there and fight again as soon as possible to prove that you can once again be champion?
Certamente, ao longo dessa sua trajetória, esse ano e meio, você tem provado que a adversidade para você não é um problema e você vai sempre voltar. Você gostaria de voltar o mais cedo possível para continuar essa trajetória?
Hoje, amanhã, agora. Eu nasci para isso, eu nasci para lutar. Foi como eu falei. Hoje o Islam Makhachev foi melhor do que eu. Olha só, se você pegar todas as minhas últimas lutas, eu fui lutar na casa dos caras, eu bati, eu apanhei, eu dei a volta por cima, eu venci. Eu acho que eu mereço uma luta imediata.
Today, tomorrow, now, I mean, I'm ready to fight. It doesn't matter. I said, just like I just mentioned, one day he's better than you are. The other day, it's me. I can fight as soon as possible. And today he was better than I was, but maybe the next time. And next up, as soon as possible, I can fight.
Charles, next time. We saw Khabib go up to you after and have a conversation after the fight. What exactly did he tell you?
A gente viu o Khabib ir na sua direção logo após a luta, antes até de eu chegar. O que o Khabib falou para você naquele momento?
Cara, isso é um esporte que a gente tem que aprender todos os dias. Cada um vende a luta de uma forma, cada um faz aquilo que quer fazer. Ele vendeu a luta da forma que ele achava que era melhor e depois ele só foi falar, pô, que me respeitava, como eu também falei que respeitava muito ele, né? É o business, As pessoas vêm falando e você não pode cair na pilha disso, né? Ele foi um grande campeão, fez uma grande história, né? Hoje tem um grande campeão ao lado dele, mas eu vou dar a volta por cima.
Man, this is a sport that we know exactly what it's all about, and we actually have to promote fights, and this is what we did. This is exactly what we did, and we understand that the things that we have to do to promote them. He came up to me and just basically said that everything was just promoting the fight, that he had respect for me, and I mean, he is a great champion. He has an amazing journey in the sport, and now he has a great champion next to him. And all he was doing is basically saying that he respects me and that it was all part of the game, and that's what it is.
Then in the entrance, when you walked into the arena, you had an entire corner of your teammates and friends and family. So what were the emotions when you saw that right when you walked out, they were waiting for you?
E quando você chegou, naquela passagem toda, no corredor, estava todo mundo lá, estava mais na sua mente do que o corner, estava toda a equipe lá, estava toda essa família que está sempre com você. Qual foi o sentimento de chegar aqui e saber que você estava naquele pedacinho de casa ali?
Cara, a gente vai estar junto o tempo inteiro, a gente vai vencer junto, a gente vai perder junto, isso faz parte, né? Só peço desculpa, hoje infelizmente não foi um dia muito bom para mim, mas eu tenho certeza que eles vão me acolher para a gente poder ir dar a volta por cima.
We are a family, man, and we win together, we lose together, we're always going to be together. The only thing is I apologize for not winning tonight, but certainly they're going to be around me so we can come back.
John. Right here from Brazil. I'm going to ask in Portuguese, okay? If you guys don't mind. Charles, o Brasil inteiro parou hoje para ver o Charles lutar. Todo mundo de coração partido, a gente vence junto, a gente perde junto, a gente chora junto. Quer mandar um recado pro Brasil e estamos juntos sempre e a torcida é tua.
Charles, Brazil stopped today to watch you. We win together, we lose together, we have a broken heart right now, and everybody is going to be there all together. And would you please send a shout out to the Brazilian fans?
Eu sei disso. Milhares de lugar parado, todo mundo torcendo, vibrando. Eu queria demais continuar com essa vitória. poder dar uma festa para um povo que precisa tanto disso, mas eu vou dar a volta por cima. Vocês podem ter a maior certeza do mundo, eu vou dar a volta por cima. Há 11 lutas atrás eu perdi e eu vou ter treinado no mesmo dia, porque eu queria dar a volta por cima e queria se tornar campeão, isso que aconteceu. Então eu prometo para você, povo brasileiro, a todo mundo que torceu, que me ama, que eu vou dar a volta por cima. Esse cinturão ainda volta pra gente.
I know what that feels. I know what it is to actually have thousands of places just shut down to watch me. And I wish I would have given a victory to a people and a country that needs it so much and deserves it so much. But 11 losses ago, I basically went back to the gym the same day because I said, I'm going to go and get this done. And together, for all those people that love me and that root for me and that always support me, they're always behind me, we're going to train and we're going to be together in this and we are going to turn things around and this belt's going to be mine again.
Charles, aqui. Charles, independente do resultado, é claro que o resultado não veio, mas foi uma semana histórica para o Brasil. Que mensagem você acha que fica diante da tua postura, da legião que você movimentou, você com a sua equipe na coletiva, essa quantidade de gente com você? Qual a mensagem que você acha que fica independente do resultado?
Cara, de verdade, eu acho que todo o respeito do mundo, a gente não vai agradar a todos, né? Vai ter milhares de pessoas que vão criticar, como vai ter milhares de pessoas que vão aplaudir. Mas a gente fez coisa que a gente nunca tinha feito. Veio para cá 2 semanas antes, né? Todo mundo sabe que eu gosto de ficar com a minha família, mas eu vim para cá com o meu time, com a minha equipe, com a minha família para cá, para poder se dedicar, e foi muito bom para mim. Eu não tenho nada para reclamar, de verdade, foi tudo de 100%, o tempo que a gente passou aqui, tudo que a gente treinou aqui. Eu me perguntei muitas das vezes, cara, porque eu bati o peso tão perfeitamente, eu me recuperei tão perfeitamente. Eu falei várias vezes ali dentro do vestiário, eu falei, calma, para a equipe, passando calma para isso, porque eu sabia o quanto que eu estava pronto para isso. Mas infelizmente não é da forma que a gente quer, né? Hoje o Isla estava melhor do que eu, conectou alguns golpes melhor do que eu, conseguiu fazer aquilo que ele queria fazer, que era botar abaixo e tentar sair para finalização, e conseguiu fazer acontecer. Então acho que, cara, de verdade, como meu irmão falou muito, o leão ferido ainda continua sendo um leão. Eu vou voltar para casa, eu vou voltar a caçar de novo, né? Eu vou buscar esse cinturão mais uma vez.
I'll translate it for you guys afterwards.
Can I make?
Continue.
I have another.
Thank you.
I have another.
I'm going to speak. I'm going to speak in Portuguese for Charles. Charles, a gente vê claramente que é expressão de tristeza, mas temos algumas coisas para colocar aqui, né? Eu vou colocar o meu exemplo, uma pessoa da imprensa. Só estou aqui porque você deu essa condição. Minha primeira viagem internacional, minha primeira cobertura internacional, a gente fica realmente emocionado. Então, uma pergunta que eu te faço. A gente conversou ao longo da semana sobre uma luta sua no Rio de Janeiro. Você acha que fazer uma luta no Rio de Janeiro, diante do seu público, e com certeza absoluta, eu, que estou todo dia escrevendo sobre o MMA, a gente tem esse feedback da torcida brasileira que torce tanto por você, que colocou você num pedestal que você merece estar. Então, uma luta do Brasil diante do seu público para retomar essa moral, essa confiança, é uma possibilidade. E muito obrigado por tudo. Levanta essa cabeça, você é o cara.
Pô, obrigado. É bom saber isso aí. Queria que fosse com a vitória, acho que seria mais importante. Mas acho que, sem sombra de dúvida, se eles quiserem me colocar para lutar no Rio, eu estou pronto. Eu não tenho um corte, não tenho nada. Eu estou pronto para lutar hoje, agora, amanhã, né? Acho que foi como eu falei lá em cima. Acho que eu fui um dos campeões que lutaram mais dentro, né, desse pouco tempo que teve, uma luta atrás da outra, lutando na casa do meu adversário. Se eu tivesse a oportunidade de lutar, né, no Rio de Janeiro, seria muito bom para mim, né, poder lutar diante da minha família, diante do meu público, né, não importa contra quem. É aquilo que eu falei, eu vou buscar esse cinturão de volta. Acho que a expressão não tem como a gente mudar, todo mundo sabe o quanto que eu estou triste. Falei milhares de vezes, não é só um cinturão, é um legado, é uma história, né? É complicado você chegar aqui e você perder né? Foi como eu falei milhares de vezes, a gente nunca vai se tornar campeão por toda a vida, né? Uma hora alguém ia chegar aqui e ia conseguir tirar ele. A gente lutando bem ou lutando ruim. Hoje eu não lutei bem, hoje não foi o Charles de sempre, ele não foi melhor do que eu. Mas com certeza se tivesse a oportunidade de lutar no Rio seria muito bom.
Meu Charles, a última aqui. É claro que é muita coisa para digerir em tão pouco tempo, mas você consegue pensar na parte técnica, qual seria a principal mudança nessa luta que você teria feito ou ainda é cedo para falar sobre isso?
Cara, de verdade, eu não teria mudado nada. Eu não teria mudado nada. Eu fiz um camp maravilhoso, aconteceram algumas coisas durante o camp que não adianta a gente falar aqui porque é desculpa, vamos falar que é desculpa, como eu te falei, a gente não vai agradar todo mundo, né? A gente chegou aqui 2 semanas antes, a gente treinou duro, né? Eu cortei meu peso como eu nunca tinha cortado na minha vida, eu estava 100% pronto para isso. Infelizmente, mano, ele foi melhor do que eu hoje. Ele conseguiu conectar com as mãos, ele conseguiu me derrubar no tempo certo, né? Ele conseguiu sair num time muito rápido para uma finalização. Merece respeito, tem que aplaudir o cara, como eu falei. É voltar para casa, tá perto de quem a gente ama de verdade, porque agora vai ter um monte de comédia que nunca tomou um soco na cara e vai ficar falando um monte de bosta. Mas é isso.
Charles, from Sport Turkey. So what do you think was different about him and his style of wrestling and grappling compared to all the other wrestlers or grapplers that you experienced and trained with before?
Charles, repórter da Turquia aqui perguntando o que você acha do estilo de grappling e de wrestling que ele teve, que foi diferente de outros grapplers e wrestlers que você já enfrentou na tua carreira?
Cara, né, é isso que ele sabe fazer, ele joga nesse jogo. Não tem o que a gente falar ou mudar. O Islam foi melhor do que eu hoje. O Islam foi melhor do que eu hoje. Eu estava muito bem preparado em pé, estava muito bem preparado no chão, estava bom. Sou lutador de MMA completo. Mas hoje ele foi melhor do que eu. Eu não tenho aqui eu ficar, eu não fui, ele foi. Hoje o Islam foi melhor do que eu. Pronto, acabou, é só isso. Hoje o Islam foi melhor do que eu.
You know, there's nothing technical about it, actually, to say. I couldn't go back and say anything specific. I mean, tonight, Islam was better than I was. I mean, he was doing his game. He actually was able to impose his rhythm and do what he wanted to do. There's nothing much to say in a situation like this that say, oh, maybe I should have done this or something, or done that. Tonight, Islam was better than I was, and there's nothing much else that we can do on the technical side. It's like, oh, maybe I should have. There's no, Islam was better than I was tonight.
So with Islam winning tonight, it looks like UFC is thinking about putting him against Volkanovski next. So in that case, who do you think fits the best for you? Who do you want the next?
O UFC, uma vez que isso aconteceu, eles querem colocar o Volkanovski contra o Islam sendo o novo campeão. Com essa situação, quem seria melhor para você enfrentar? Quem que você enfrentaria na próxima luta, uma vez que essa situação está como está hoje?
Cara, não sei. O Charles ainda vai continuar sendo o número 1 da categoria. Tem muito o que fazer. Acho que, na realidade, eles falam aqui quem é, quem não é, e acaba mudando tudo. Não sei. Vamos voltar para casa, deixar meus empresários trabalhar, bater um pouco a cabeça com o UFC. Vamos ver o que vai acontecer. Eu acho que eu fiz muito pelo UFC, o UFC sabe disso. Como eles também fizeram bastante por mim. Vamos pensar em algo melhor para nós, não só para o Charles, mas também como para o UFC.
You know, I really don't know what I would choose or to actually have to happen, because at the end of the day, you never know exactly what the promotion is going to choose. I mean, they change minds all the time, so who am I to say something like that? The truth of the matter is that Charles Oliveira is still the #1 contender in the division. So what we're going to do is go back home, see my family, talk to my managers, assess the matters, maybe butt heads a little bit with the UFC. I've always done everything the UFC has always wanted from me. I've always fought other people's homes. So basically, we're just going to wait a little bit, and there's nothing much for us to actually choose. We're going to be home and negotiate it from there.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Okay.
Charles Oliveira, how are you, sir? Right here. So you have a lot of connection to the streets, to the favelas, to the ghettos, and a lot of people from these unprivileged situations, circumstances look up a lot to you. What do you have to say to these people as an inspiration about getting knocked down and getting back up and getting back to that championship title fight again?
Charles, você é uma pessoa extremamente conectada, a tua história está conectada com a favela, com a quebrada, com gente muito desfavorecida na vida. Você, como a inspiração que você é, e por tudo que você passou na tua vida, o que você tem para dizer sobre cair para levantar depois?
Cara, ninguém nunca vai me bater mais do que a vida me bateu. Por isso que eu falei, eu vou voltar e vou voltar mais forte, vou buscar esse cinturão de volta.
You know, man, no one's ever gonna hit me as hard as life has hit me. So, fell down, and I'm gonna get up, and I'm gonna get this belt back. Você vai levar ele para Evelyn?
Aljamain, in the front right here. First of all, congratulations on another successful title defense. Now that the dust has settled and you've gotten past TJ Dillashaw, what are the emotions right now going through your mind?
There's a lot going through my head right now. I don't even know where to begin. Kicking around a whole lot of ideas and different things that I kind of want to try to start and explore. The one thing I will say is I definitely want to thank my team for making this trip with me and being out here for these long weeks, coming out to Vegas, coming back with me to New York, coming out with me to Dubai, and all the way to Abu Dhabi. So it's been a crazy 10 weeks for this fight camp, and I'm just blessed to be in this position. And these guys give me the confidence to know that I truly am the best in the world, and I think my performance tonight speaks volumes on that.
When you say you're kicking around ideas that you want to pursue, what exactly do you mean by that?
There's a whole wide range of things I want to do. First, growing my YouTube channel, Funk Master MMA, giving the fans a whole bunch of access to the behind-the-scenes things that they don't see from a day-to-day basis, like what us fighters go through in a training camp. Acting, like legitimate acting, not the first Jan fight that people still think I'm acting about, but my rum company that I'm looking to get started, I just got a bunch of different things. You know, I came from really nothing, and to be here doing all this, being able to buy my mom a house, finally being able to buy her a car, and having money in the bank finally, you know, I think that's what it's all about, you know, giving back to my team, my teammates, being one of the coaches to help guide these guys the same way I came up. So there's just a lot, man. So I'm just taking it all in and making history one fight at a time. And I look forward to making a little bit more.
Speaking of this fight specifically, I know you said your last fight against Petr was one of the more satisfying wins of your career based on the build-up and everything, but now that you finished TJ Dillashaw, the man who claims that he was the greatest bantamweight of all time, where does this rank for you in your career?
I think it ranks right up there. TJ, I mean, his resume speaks for itself, albeit I've said what I said about him. I really don't think he did any of those fights clean. I still will stick by what I've said, and not to kick him in while he's down, but I think he's still one of the greatest bantamweights. I don't think he's the greatest of all time, but I think he could make the conversation and he will be in that discussion. So for me to get a guy like that out of there, I think it speaks volumes on where I'm at and my skill set. I'm honestly just getting better, man. I'm getting better, giving me more time to get comfortable with the striking. And every time I say I'm going to come out here and strike, the legs are just right there and I end up just taking it. It's really just instinctual. I see an opening, a guy starts to overcommit, and just like a piece of candy, and then I just take it.
Were you aware that TJ had blown his shoulder out, and then when he said that he blew it out in April and it actually come out dislocated like 20 times in fight camp?
I tore my shoulder and I had 5 professional fights, and I went 5-0. So I understand the pain that he definitely had to deal with going through that, but he had the 2 shoulder surgeries during his suspension. I took him down. His shoulders were in the socket before the takedown. They were in the socket before the round ended, as far as I'm concerned. I full mounted him. I rolled his arms up. I flattened him out. I like to think that I'm the one that caused that to come out of the socket again. So he can say whatever he wants, but I don't think, socket or not, that fight wasn't going to get any better for him, honestly.
And then this is just in fighting in general moving forward. The scorecards came out and all the 3 judges gave you 10-8 for that first round. Do you think they should start normalizing 10-7 rounds, 10-6 rounds like that when you have a round like that?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, even my Jan fight, I had 3 minutes and 54 seconds of control time, ground and pound and submission attempts. The guy held him to my wrist for dear life, so I couldn't advance position, and I didn't get a 10-8. But then Patchy Mix gets a 10-8 fighting Horiguchi with 4 minutes with no ground and pound. I'm like, this makes no sense. There has to be consistency. So if the judges can give us models of what they're looking for, it would make it so much easier for us to game plan and really dictate our training camp so we know what we need to do when we're in the fight. Otherwise, we're kind of just saying, we're just kind of just going by what we think is going to win the fight. And I hope they understand that it's not trying to be judgmental on them. They just don't know any better because they're not the ones that are actually in there. They're not the ones that are actually sparring and knowing what each strike feels like. They don't know what a calf kick feels like. They don't know what it feels like getting teeped to the body when it feels like you want to shit yourself. So they only see real punches that connect to the head, and they think that's like the end-all be-all for scoring fights. So the MMA judging could get better. No one's perfect. I'm not trying to bash them, but there should be a conversation to allow the fighters to come in so that we can have an intellectual conversation and help advance the sport.
In terms of your...
And 10-7, probably a 10-6.
In terms of your career, you named a few fighters in there. I know Dana had said maybe the winner of Sean and Petr would get the next shot. He then kind of backtracked and said, we gotta think about it. Even Sean said, like, we gotta think about it. He doesn't even want to think about fighting again. So it was up to you. Is any one of those names kind of ahead of the others?
Man, I'm just sitting back smelling the roses right now. I had a long training camp, worked my ass off. Any of those guys are good, man. This bantamweight division, literally, anyone could be champ on any given day, pending the matchup and pending the night. Like, some people have an off night, some people have better nights. And I'm a realist. People don't really understand that I speak the truth. I don't try to make shit up and try to just gaslight things, you know? So I really do think, like, tonight was my night, but it could have easily been TJ Dillashaw's night, you know? So I'm humbled by that, knowing that that's a real reality. And as of right now, I'm the guy sitting on top of the throne. There's a lot of challengers. We got another dark horse right there in Marab, who took out Jose Aldo. I know one of you guys are probably going to ask me that question coming up shortly. So we got a lot of things we need to figure out. I need to talk to Dana and Hunter, and we'll see what's the best move, man, you know? This weight cut is not fun for me, like, at all. I might make it look like it's not that bad. Even my teammates, they tell me, like, you crushed it. And I'm like, I'm dying inside. I'm dying. But it's, all jokes aside, it's tough, man. I don't know how many more times I could really keep making 135 like that. And I did want to give a shout out to the U.S. and Jamaica. Stand up. Stand up, baby, stand up.
Well, going off of that one last one, did you see what Henry Cejudo tweeted after your fight?
No, I didn't. What did he say? Enlighten me.
He said, yo, Dana White, give me the next title shot. Let's bring this title back to America.
Well, the title is in America, you bonehead. What are you talking about? I'm an American citizen. My parents are Jamaican. They were born in Kingston, born and raised. Their parents were born in Jamaica as well. I'm first generation Jamaican American. Like, I don't understand why people, like, stop saying that stupid shit. It's so stupid. I'm a proud American. I'm proud of my roots in Jamaica as well. I don't see why that's an issue with so many people to claim where their nationality is from and their heritage and how they're actually raised in their upbringing. America has given me a lot of opportunities, and I will forever be grateful for that, but I'll never forget my roots and how my parents raised me, you know? So I don't know what he's talking about bringing back to America. The belt's in America already, baby. It ain't going nowhere.
Aljamain, I'm sure you were getting ready for your fight, but did you manage to catch Jan versus O'Malley? And if so, what did you think of it?
I got to watch it. It was an exciting fight, I thought. I mean, a lot of questions were answered. I know Jan is good already. He's great pressure, and he does a great job of lining you up. He caught O'Malley the same way he caught me with that cross in that first round and sat me down. O'Malley was able to tangle him up and survive. Good on him. And my question mark for O'Malley was, how tough is he? Like, he's a hammer, and he always looks good when he's dribbling the basketball in there, but when someone actually can inflict a little pain on him, how's he going to do? And Jan is a tough dude. He's not going to go away. He landed a brilliant knee, step-in knee that Jan always covers up. I try to capitalize on that. Hopefully I was trying to do something similar, but he landed it pinpoint, and he had a great fight. That first round came down to the first round the same way it came down to the first round with my fight with Jan. So it's an interesting time in this bantamweight division. There's so many options. I thought O'Malley did his thing. He looked good. I thought Jan did his thing. He looked good as well. It was a very competitive fight. O'Malley showed that he belongs, and I think he also showed just how deep and stacked this bantamweight division really is.
After the fight, TJ Dillashaw went into detail about his shoulder injury, said it popped out 20 times during camp and stuff. Are you surprised he was that quick to sort of mention the injury, or would you kind of sort of think, I'd rather he didn't because it takes some shine off my win? What do you think about that?
Listen, I had so many things going on. You could ask the UFC PI team, and I'll disclose that with the HIPAA laws. And I got to the fight, and no excuses. If I lost, I lost. People said, are you building in excuses, because you're making claims? I'm like, dude, you got caught before. There's probably a good chance that you're doing it again. And I don't care. I was going to step in there with him regardless. Again, no excuses. If I lost, take my L like a man, go home, rebuild myself, study, and see how I can be better. And for him to go out and do that, I think it just kind of shows his personality. And I said it before, for a guy who needs to do PEDs, they have a chink in the armor for this guy to lose. And the first thing he went for was that. I'm like, dude, so you're going to just make it seem like your shoulder just came out by itself, brother? I like to think I had something to do with that.
Do you take any pride in, at the moment the bantamweight division is as good as it's ever been, might be the best division in the sport at the moment. Do you take pride in the fact that you're the champion over it as it's this good?
Hell yeah, I take pride in that shit. These guys are killers, man. And again, I train with Marab, I train with Dennis, I train with Al, I train with all these guys. These guys are hammers. So I get the confidence going with these guys and then getting some extra work down in Extreme Couture, Syndicate MMA, 10th Planet, in those places. Just getting to see what these different looks look like, man. And the bantamweight division is stacked. There's so many guys who aren't even ranked that people don't even know about yet or not paying attention to that are going to really turn some heads. And to be sitting on top of the throne, it's like I said, it's humbling. And hopefully I can whip a couple more ass cheeks before someone gets me out of there. But but right now it's the era of the funk, and I want to keep this train going.
Aljo, right here in front of you. So what about a fight with Murad? No, I'm just kidding. But as far as Henry, I mean, that's a fight you guys have been building for a while. You did the podcast together. You've done, face-offs and all this stuff. Is that one that before you do leave 35 that has to happen in your mind?
It all depends on timing. It depends on the offer. And Henry is good, but these guys don't understand. There's literally levels to grappling. It's not an inside leg trip match and laying my guard, brother. You're going to have to work. I take you down. What are you going to do when I take you down? So he can say whatever he wants about the distance. He leaves himself open when he's doing this little doodling thing on IG. It's funny. It's cute. He is a smart guy. I will give him that, so I won't bust his chops too much. But he's dealing with another cerebral fighter, so it would be a very competitive match. And I like to think my key points where I thrive will definitely overshine his. He's going to need to keep it standing the entire time. And what's he going to do when I actually get him down to the ground? It's, like I said, man, I take you down, I backpack you up, and that's a wrap.
Would that put a nice bow on the reign for you, though? Because obviously he never lost the title in the cage. He vacated it. So, is it a nice way to kind of just make it nice and clean?
Hey, I'm an MMA fan. Cejudo won the belt against Marlon Moraes. It was vacant. After that, he fought Dominic Cruz, who was sitting on a couch and took it on short notice because it was an opportunity of a lifetime. If we're being honest here, we are not the same. I fought guys with full training camps. I fought guys with wins and credentialed ability. Yeah, Marlon Moraes might have put me to sleep, but look where he's at and look where I'm at. I said it before, that was a hiccup. I took the guy lightly, paid him no mind, I overlooked him, and I paid the price. And I came back and I showed that I'm still one of the best, if not the best guy in the world in this weight class. So I just got to keep doing it, keep working hard, and that's really what it's all about, man. Blue-collar work ethic, no cutting corners, no PEDs, none of that bullshit. And that's it, man. I would like to I like to be the beacon for people that go through that grind on a day-to-day basis, especially those people from New York, man, who hustle and bustle every day in that rat race, you know. You'll get your break as long as you put the time in, you do things the right way. Good things can happen for you as well. So that's where I'm at with that. Cejudo wants it. Dana, what's up? Hunter, what's up? Let's talk shop, let's talk money, and money talk, bullshit walks, right? So let's get it going.
Aljo, just front as well over here. Firstly, congratulations.
Thank you.
It does seem like you are teasing that you might be moving up to featherweight at some point in the not too distant future. Would you say we might see that happen in the next year or so?
It could. It could. I even told the guys in the back, I'm like, it sounds weird when I'm saying that during fight week and right before the fight, people might think like, oh, his head's not in it. My head's always in it. It's just, I can acknowledge and separate the two and be like, this sucks. It's not fun. It hurts. Getting up to 170 pounds and then getting back down to 135 is not fun. It's not easy. And then trying to rehydrate the right way. It's a grind, man. And maybe I'll have better performances at 145. Who knows? But as of right now, I'm at 135. I'm winning fights. So far, so good. I'm still having fun with it. So I'm just going to focus on that and let the good times keep rolling in. And whenever the bad does set in, I'll go through that as well and get through it as I always do.
Did you see Volkanovski at fight camp walking around? Like, could you size him up when you were next to him?
He's a thick boy. But I think I give Volkanovski a good run. I think I can make it very competitive. Again, the same thing. He's a good, quick, elusive guy. He's smaller, explosive. I know he used to be a big rugby player, so he's going to be strong. But I'm a strong guy for the weight. And I do think if I put on, I don't want to put on muscle, but I think I can get a little bit more explosive or a little stronger at 145. And I can fill out a little bit more as well. So it's an interesting thing. He's probably thinking the same thing, going up to 155, taking on the challenge. And I would like to take on the challenge as well, maybe going up to 145 and seeing what's good over there.
How do you think he'd do against Islam?
Against Usman?
Islam.
Oh, I don't know, man. I'm worried about me right now. And I mean, I got this belt right here. Every life is good. I got my boys. We in Abu Dhabi. We about to make it rain tonight. You know what I mean? So life's good right now, man. Life's good.
Just, sorry, one more quick one from me, Aljo.
He had one too. You had one?
It was a Volkanovski question.
Good. Do you know what? I've asked a question. It's fine. You go.
Go.
Go. It's fine. I've asked one. Go for it. Okay, so you said you had some plans to like do some different things. I know when you did the I'm coming for that ass, you did some merchandising and you made a t-shirt. Would you consider making a backpack with I'm coming for that back?
I like where your head's at. I need a good artist, man. It's a hard time. I use Fiverr. They are not that great. I thought they would have been a little bit more reliable to help me. Like Sean O'Malley does a great job with his marketing, like making these shirts and jerseys. Great job. I wish I had someone to help me do stuff like that because that would actually be pretty dope. But I don't even know where to begin finding stuff like that.
Cody, Merrill Marketing.
Where's he at? Where's the marketing at? All good. Thank you guys. Pleasure as always, and still.
Hello. Good morning, evening, morning.
Well, Alex, we'll just kick it right off. What did you make of Islam's performance in there against Charles?
Yeah, it was good performance. I thought, I was leaning towards Islam. I thought maybe he would get in 3-4 rounds, maybe get a submission. He was landing on the feet, which sort of surprised me a little bit, but at the same time, Charles, again, I've got a lot of respect for Charles, but, he's a very exciting fighter because obviously he can get hit and he likes to hit people. This time he got hit and then got down, and usually people don't want to follow that up, right? Islam did and then got the finish, but, so credit to him.
And then obviously he went right out and said, I want to fight you next in Perth. Did you know he was going to say something like that? Or even Habib was in there saying he wants to bring him down there?
Yeah, no, I did not know that. But I mean, I think it makes sense. You know what I mean? That's why I'm doing this type of stuff. That's why you're seeing me here and putting a lot on the line. Just committing to some big things that a lot of people wouldn't do, just to put me in a position where, again, no one can take an opportunity away from me. That's just how I've always been, how I always will be, and now I get to reap the benefits. I want to get that champ and put myself in a position where everyone wants to see it now, and even the guy holding that belt wants to see it. So it's incredible. It's what we wanted.
And I know the fight just ended, and it's obviously going to happen. But at what point does your mind just start thinking about ways to fight Islam in there?
Oh man, every time I watch a fight, I guess I'm thinking like that, right? That's just how I am. That's how my brain works. But again, I'm a totally different fighter, right? So I was surprised actually. I thought Charles was still doing okay. I thought Islam would be able to control him a little bit more. I thought he'd be a lot stronger than Charles. Again, obviously Islam looked strong, but I was surprised that Charles will still be able to get up and throw submissions, and he wasn't able to control him as well as I thought he could. And that just makes me more confident because I'm very, very hard, well, not only to take down, hold down. One thing I always say, especially these little short legs, they're very easy to get back to my feet. So that's going to be one hard thing. Getting me down is going to be a problem. If you do, I'm bouncing right back up, and it's going to be stand up most of the way through. So that's how I look at it. And again, you ain't going to land on me like that because I don't just stand in front of you. I don't just come forward and come in, straight at you in one line. I've got a lot of good footwork and a lot of different looks, and very, very unpredictable. They never know what's happening in front of them, and while they're trying to adjust, I'm making them pay.
Alex, you spit in Tai Tuivasa's shoe again tonight.
He forced me, you know what I mean? There's nothing much. When someone like that, it's Tai Tuivasa, he's like, do this. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do whatever you want, mate. Yeah, so that was his idea, so sorry about that.
Would you have done it if the tables were turned?
No.
No.
Nope. Not on camera anyway.
I had asked you when we spoke at the beginning of the week about going into the cage to face off with the winner. Were you excited that came to fruition?
Yeah, man, it was. Again, this was, again, as I said before, this was a commitment. Even though it was a short amount of time, again, I just had a broken hand not that long ago, but in that short amount of time I did, we committed to trying to get ready. And but that was, I was willing to do that to put me in a position like I did. But perfect world was them guys going out there, putting on a show, and then me fighting the winner, hopefully in Australia. And, and then maybe them calling them out, doing a face-off. Like, perfect world, this is exactly how I wanted. This is exactly why I'm here. And that's what happened. I'm just glad because there's not many people doing what I'm doing or want to do what I'm doing. And, I'm making shit happen because I'm really putting it all out there.
Can you fathom what this moment could be like in February, fighting in front of that home crowd, what you've been wanting to do for so long and becoming champ, like this is the stuff of legends.
It is, it really is. And that's what I mean, it's all falling into play exactly how I wanted. Again, during the week I'm like, I'm ready to go in there if I have to, but perfect world, if everything goes how we want it to, I fight the winner in Australia. And this is exactly what it is. It's going to be huge for not only Australian fans. They deserve a big fight. They deserve me fighting on that card. Me either defending a belt or go for champ on it. It's going to be crazy. I know they're already very excited, and we're going to sell out. It's going to be crazy over there. So I can't wait to put on a show.
Can't wait to be there.
Alex, how much better can you be having just one guy to prepare for, knowing you've got Islam in February? How much better can you be in February than you are right now?
Oh, man, look, the extra time. You know, I already got to spend some time. I'll be honest, a lot of the time, my style works well with Charles. I don't think it needs too much attention other than getting fit. Where with Islam, you're going to need, all right, you need to do the rounds of the wrestling and take down defense and getting back up just in case we've got to get there, and just knowing that you can do that for forever, right? So now I get another. Well, I'm going to be training. You're going to see me back home, and I'm going to be, getting wrestling guys in and getting to work ASAP. You know what I mean? So I'm a professional, as you can see. That's why I'm here, and I'm going to get to work. And trust me, I'm going to be in great condition, and I'm getting that belt, man. Champ, here we come.
Sometimes when guys move up, right, everyone says, oh, they need to put on some weight to match the strength of the guys they'll be fighting. Is that something you're interested in, or do you think, no, I'm good enough the way I am?
Nah, look, I'll try and hold as much muscles as I can, but I mean, I don't want to get too much bigger. I fight best at where I'm at, and that's what I'm going to do in there. I'm strong, man. Like, again, people are going to sit there and say size this, size that, and trust me, anyone that trains with me knows that, strength is never a problem for me. You know what I mean? So people find that out February.
When Islam calls you short, does that excite you that you can prove him wrong for all of us vertically challenged men?
Everyone thinks I'm short, and then I'm punching them in the face, and then next minute their face changes real quick when I'm in front of them. So yeah, well again, that's it's not insult, whatever. Yeah, I'm short. I know I am, but man, I'm the champ. I'm doing good, and I'm going to keep this winning streak going, and I'm going to show him what short people can do when they know what they're doing.
Last one from me. You're a guy who's motivated by challenges. That's why you've always got yourself into these situations. That's why you've always called out the division for not giving you new challenges. When you look at Islam, where does he rank in the challenges you face in your career, and how excited are you to fight a guy like this and this challenge in particular?
Oh, it's definitely a challenge. Like, I know it's a challenge. I'm not going to sit out here and say it's not a challenge. But is it a challenge I can overcome and get through? 100%. I guarantee you I can. Like, I'm looking forward to doing it. Again, I want to be the underdog as well, you know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to people thinking that, oh, he's not going to be able to handle the power. He's not he's going to get taken down. He's not going to be able to get back up. Can't wait to, as the fight goes, just proving people wrong as each second goes by. Because again, man, I love being the underdog and I love proving people wrong. And if people are going to doubt me again, that's beautiful.
Alex, just to your right over here. Regardless of whatever happens in February, you're still going to be the featherweight champion. So I just want to quickly talk a little bit about the featherweight division. So as we currently have it, Yair Rodriguez, he didn't have like a decisive win, I would say, against Ortega. And then a lot of people are saying that Calvin Kattar actually beat Josh Emmett, and Josh Emmett got the result. So next week, we've got a really good fight in your division, Calvin Kattar versus Arnold Allen. So firstly, I want to know, how do you think that one's going to go? And if Arnold Allen is able to put on a better performance and a more decisive performance than Yair and Josh Emmett have done, would that interest you? And the reason why I ask you that is because, do you watch cricket?
I do watch cricket, yes.
So
a little bit. So don't ask me too many questions,
because I think Australia are going to defend the Ashes in June, July time against England, in England. So
you say, we can do that as well. Look, man, I like the dude, man. I've got a lot of respect for Arnold Allen and Kattar. It's going to be a great fight, and I definitely think a big win could definitely put them right up there, because there was a couple of fights that had a chance to really take that. Unfortunately, a couple of things happened. They're still right up there. There's got so many good guys in our division, man. It's still very, very competitive. We just need someone to really claim that #1 spot, and not let anyone take it away from them. Maybe they can look at their champ and see what he's doing in the lightweight division right now, and maybe start, calling the shots and making sure no one else can take an opportunity away from him. So, that's just how I've always been. That's how I got the title. That's how I'm getting a shot at this lightweight title. Maybe they can do the same.
And just a final one from me as well. Just on a lighter note, sometimes we spend a lot of time with people and then they kind of throw it in our faces. So I want to know, when you spent some quality time with Hasbullah and then he threw that burger in your face, how did you feel about that?
Yeah, no, it was all good. Again, it was playful. I'll be honest. We sort of played. He copped a little bit of flack about that, but that was we asked him to do it from a cooking channel. So I was like, So it was all good. Nothing but love. I'm just a good actor, and everyone believed it.
Did you have to wrestle that belt back from him?
Mate, he beat the shit out of me, eh? Did you just watch that video? Yeah, honestly, it was like, oh, yeah, we'll do this little skit, and he just went in on me. It went for about 5 minutes. Honestly, just kicking elbow and going crazy, but it was good.
quite sad that there wasn't any stupid little bowls.
Stupid little, my favourite. Yeah, so luckily I didn't need a fighter because I'm a bit bruised up from the beating I took from him.
Alex, you're right. From Sport Turkey. So obviously you made 155. You made that weight after a long time. How do you feel at that weight? You said strength is no issue for you. Do you still feel this speed advantage at this weight? And when you fight Islam, what's the winning game plan from Islam?
Well, that's definitely a speed advantage I'm definitely going to have. That's the thing, like a lot of people are going to be like, there's going to be a size issue. Everyone's bigger than me, and I train with a lot of guys bigger than me. Strength, but trust me, anyone that knows me, I'm like, trust me, I'm strong. Like, I'm going to tell you that now. And then I'm gonna have that speed. Obviously, I've got the fight IQ. And look, the guys that I'm fighting got to realize I'm not going to do what their future opponents, their past opponents are going to do in front of them. I move a lot different. I'm a way harder puzzle to figure out, and they figure that out real quick when I'm in front of them. As I said, I might look small, and they might think they've got a plan, and that quickly changes once I'm in front of them. Thank you.
I told you guys one day I'm gonna coming here with my belt.
Well, Islam in front, right here. Just as you said, you told us a long time ago that you would have this belt eventually, and we had been talking for so long of when you were going to get your title shot. And now that you do have that belt in front of you here in Abu Dhabi, what are the emotions now that you have accomplished this goal?
Emotion. Of course, I'm so happy because for that moment I training all my life and just so happy, you know.
And specifically in the fight, it seems like you dominated pretty much every aspect of the fight. Is that exactly how you expected this fight to play out?
Yes, I told all week, all media, I told I have plan, I'm gonna stop him. He not gonna pressure me like he did with all his opponent because he know my wrestling, I can stop him. Whatever I want, I can take him down. That's why I just follow the plans what the old coach told me.
When you were grappling with him on the canvas, he obviously has the record for most submissions and he's very skilled on there. Did anything down there surprise you in terms of what he was able to do?
Honestly, when I take him down first time, I feel he have good skills there, but I control every moment and he give me from the like couple elbows, but nothing surprise. I know my grappling skills and I told you before, I'm gonna take him down, hold him, make him tired. This just what I did and what I said before.
And then you obviously called Alex Volkanovski into the octagon. We spoke to Dana and Alex here, and neither of them knew you were going to do that. So how long had you been thinking of this plan?
I have new target. I have to be #1 pound for pound champion. That's why I have to go to the Australia and beat this guy.
And then after your fight, there seems like there was a scuffle in the crowd between Hamzat and some people from your team. Did you know about this? And if you heard about what exactly happened?
Again.
Hamzat and some people from your team got into a little fight on the octagon side. Did you hear about this?
No, I don't hear. I don't know.
Ислам, поздравляю тебя, отличный бой. У меня два простых вопроса на самом деле. Первый, кто тебе первым позвонил и позвонил ли? И второе, что тебе сказал Хабиб, когда вы зашли уже в раздевалку? Не на публике, а когда вы уже остались, как говорится, одни.
Ну, я домой позвонил. Маме, отцу сразу позвонил сам. Телефон попросил. Я там, где-то час, наверное, не мог никак телефон в руки взять. И как взял сразу, домой позвонил. Хабиб в клетке же он меня поздравил. Сказал, что не просто так мы здесь.
А что мама тебе сказала, если это не секрет?
Мама? Мама что сказала? Я сказал, готовь. Она мне последнюю неделю отправляла, там, как она пирожки готовит, там, раздает соседям. Я говорю, готовь, я приеду сейчас скоро.
Спасибо, Ислам, поздравляю.
Спасибо.
Ислам, с победой.
Ага, спасибо.
Вот Абдулманап Нурмагомедов — это человек, которого с нами уже, к сожалению, нет, но который, очевидно, внес большой вклад в твою сегодняшнюю победу. А как ты думаешь, что бы он тебе сказал после боя, вот сразу, как только он закончился?
Ну, мы бы точно сначала разбор ошибок сделали бы. И потом, я думаю, он гордился бы мной. Потому что всю жизнь я слушался его, я делал все, что, как он говорит, я его постоянно слушал, где он говорил, я выступал. Все, что он мне говорил, я делал. Из-за этого он мне говорил, что я буду чемпионом после Хабиба. Обстоятельства так сложились, что не получилось подраться сразу за пояс после Хабиба, как Хабиб закончил карьеру, но сейчас тоже, я думаю, не поздно, и очень рад, что смог у такого достойного соперника отобрать пояс.
Вот в 2013 году ты дебютировал в такой большой профессиональной лиге, первой для себя М1. В 2016, например, становился чемпионом мира по боевому самбо. Ну, понятно, что сейчас успех, он как бы не сравним с тем, что было до этого, но вот так по ощущениям, с чем бы ты мог сравнить чувства, которые сейчас переживаешь, испытываешь? Может быть, было уже по ходу твоей спортивной карьеры, когда у тебя был похожий день, когда ты думал, что ты уже там, на вершине, грубо говоря?
Честно, я уже давно думал, что я созрел для чемпионского боя. И всю мою профессиональную карьеру у меня были одни и те же проблемы, что я не мог подраться ни с кем из топов. Все придумывали какие-то там отговорки. Ну, я не скажу, что меня боялись или что-то такое, но не получалось у меня подраться с топами. И перед этим боем говорили, Ислам не побил кого-то из топов, ну, и даже не было некому было за пояс драться. По-любому люди оставались, кто говорил, что Ислам там заслужил или нет, но все видели сегодня мой уровень, и я показал, что я могу остановить любого.
Тебя уже спрашивали сейчас вопрос на английском, но хотелось бы спросить на русском, может быть, не так понял. Общался ли ты с Абубакаром уже после боя своего? Виделся ли ты с ним?
Я только что в раздевалку зашел минуту назад, только столько интервью сделал, лицо помыл, футболку одел и сюда пришел. Еще ни с кем ни о чем не разговаривал.
Про конфликт Абубакара и Хамзата Чимаева ты не слышал, правильно я понимаю?
Нет, я еще не слышал, ничего не видел тоже.
Все, понял. Спасибо, Ислам. С победой.
Спасибо.
Islam, right here in front of you. Charles was in here and he made no excuses. He said you were better than him tonight and he looks forward to fighting you again one day. Does your respect for him grow even more, the fact that he can come in here and say, I lost to the better man?
Yes, I respect him because this guy tough, you know. He have heart and he come from not easy life, and I respect all his team. We meet all this team all week in the hotel. We don't have nothing between our team and his team, but I told all weeks my plan, all media I tell my plan. I'm gonna take him down, hold him, make him tired and finish him there.
And you were at the press conference very fired up about the idea of fighting Charles in Brazil. You guys went back and forth. That's not going to happen now, but you might go to Australia to fight in Alex's backyard. Does that idea excite you a lot, going into enemy territory?
You know, I have big team. Doesn't matter. Like, it's good for us. We can travel. Australia is a good country. We can make some camp there, training there, and before they announce fight with Charles, Khabib told me many times, hey, if they gonna give us title fight in Brazil, we're gonna go to the Brazil like 1 month ago, and I have message with him when we talk about this, and he sent to the Dana message, hey, let's go do this in Brazil. We can go to the Brazil, but some people don't believe, but we can show people the message, what Khabib said Dana.
And in the cage, Charles was talking to you. His translator was saying, what was he saying to you?
Just respect each other.
Thank you.
Islam, I have 2 questions. To your left, right here. So your team captain, DC, finished during his career. He became double champ at some point. That was something very special about his career. Khabib Nurmagomedov retired undefeated. That was something very special about his career. How do you think you're going to make your career special in compared to those greats from your team that came before you?
I don't think about retired right now. I have to be #1 pound for pound champion. After that moment, we'll see. We're gonna think about this, but right now, I have to defend this belt many times.
And once you defend that belt many times, would you ever be interested in going up in weight and getting a second belt?
I have to defend this belt in my division couple of times, and we'll see. For my legacy, it's good idea move to the other weight division.
Islam, just to your right over here. When are you going back to Dagestan, and do you know if they have a big celebration planned for you?
I don't know. I know many people waiting for me there, but many people happy about this moment. I don't have any plan, but I just want to meet my family, my friends.
And since you mentioned that, on Wednesday on Media Day, I asked about your wife and your daughter, and you said, yeah, nothing really has changed, but I can't wait to see them